parking tickets and leave me alone. Stick to something you know about.
Listen, my daughter was about your age. Then she met a guy like you. Now she's dead.
You should believe in ghosts, P-Brain.
He's a closet. Don't hurt me, please. Don't keep me waiting for those onions, Herman.
This is all the whiskey you possess?
Everyone out of the way of the bulldozer!
Hello, and welcome to Hello, This is the Doom Show. I am Richard. Folks, I'm joined by the tallest man in the room where he's recording, Simon. Hello, Simon.
Boogeyman!
I'll tell you what I thought that kid was saying. Leah and I had to translate. I thought he was saying, Fleabag! And then we rewound it like 5 times, and we kept hearing Fleabag. And then the second time he says it, we were like, oh, he's saying Boogeyman. That's not as good as Fleabag.
Fleabag!
No, yeah, do a bad lip reading this whole movie.
Fleabag!
And it reminds me now, have you seen the one that they did of, somebody did of Slayer's Angel of Death, where it's Hey Johnny Depp instead?
No, that's awesome. Oh my God. So folks, we have a very, very requested request from our buddy Mark, contributor to the Doom Show.
Yes, thank you, Mark.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, what were you going to say?
Oh, should I?
Do it.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Mark had a request, and he would like us to talk about Boogeyman from 2005, the hit film directed by Stephen Kay, starring Barry Watson, Emily Deschanel, Skye McCall, Bart Tuziak, Tori Mussett, Andrew Glover, Lucy Lawless. What? Okay, he didn't want us to talk about the 2005 Boogeyman.
I thought you said Barry White for a minute as well. Oh,
The 2005 Barry White.
Mm.
How's he doing? No. Somehow this movie that we're actually talking about is only 0.4 votes higher, or 0.4. It's not very well reviewed. But anyway, I digress. I digest. That was a dumb joke. The Boogeyman from 1980, directed by Uli Lamel. Uli Lamel, one of the weirdest motherfuckers. This guy's career is all over the place. I used to mix him up with Uwe Boll a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was just the ooh sound and the fact that they're, frickin' Germans or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, I keep forgetting about him, and you just reminded me of a movie of his that I think exists. I want to say I didn't hallucinate. It was the one of the Postal. I think that was based on the PC game, possibly.
Yes, he was the Postal guy.
Yes.
That's funny. No, you know what? We got to do House of the Dead.
Yes, totally.
You and I have got to do House of the Dead someday. I tried to get rid of that movie, and I love it too much. It's so weird. It is like, it's too weird to be bad, exactly. But Uli Lamel, I'm not super familiar. I was shocked that he had so many movies. 66 movies, documentaries, and whatevers. I need to investigate some of his later films. But I've seen Devinsville Terror, which I highly recommend.
I still need to see that.
It's oh God, the kittens are wrestling. Ooh, we got hot kitten action. Oh, that sounds terrible. I've seen The Tenderness of the Wolves, which is very interesting serial killer film based on a real case. And I've seen Boogeyman 2 and Return of the Boogeyman, which he has nothing to do with except for the flashbacks. But yeah, he's prolific.
Yeah, like you say, especially in, overall I think, but I'd heard about this, and I'm just seeing now all these like serial killer films he'd done in the last, mainly in the 2000s. I think he did like a whole run of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, BTK, Green River Killers, Zodiac, Black Dahlia, frickin' Son of Sam, Night Stalker, and DC Sniper. What the? Wow. That's bizarre. And yeah, he acted a lot.
Did you had a chance to see any interviews with him or read any? It's
no, I did not.
Yeah, there's a interesting one on this 88 Films Blu-ray, which I'll come to later. There's a bit of trivia which will, if it's true, will fucking blow your mind.
Okay, I'm ready for that. That's hot.
Cool.
Yeah, this movie has a fair amount of strangeness about it, especially when we get into the sequels, whatever they are.
Mm.
This was a video nasty, but this was not one of the persecuted films.
No, I think it and Return, Revenge of the Boogeyman, either they were on the list, or how did they refer to them? The dropped, however many it was.
Yeah, Section 2, non-prosecuted.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Doing the Nasty podcast.
Ah.
Love that podcast where they go through all of the video nasties. Section 1, Section 2, and I believe they're on to Section 3 now.
Cool, I need to check that out.
Can't recommend that show enough. This was eventually released uncut, but it took a long time. They had problems with the sexualized violence in the movie, and I think initially they had problems with the kids being involved, because there's we'll go through the whole plot here in a moment. We'll spoil the whole movie, but there are children that are involved in like some violence and some harrowing situations.
Yeah.
Get used to it if you're watching those sequels. Return of the Boogeyman, ladies and gentlemen. Just stop it. Okay. I have found... I want to do the comparison of the trailer voices real quick. So we got the difference between the theatrical trailer and then the difference between the TV spots. They got the two different awesome voice guys.
When you were a child... did they warn you about the Boogeyman?
When you were a child, did they warn you about the Boogeyman?
I tried to find a British person saying Boogeyman, which I did for the Boogeyman 2 trailer. Now,
yes.
Simon, you are from the England place, which is right next to, it's between Arkansas and Ohio here in the United States. Boogers, like snot, are called bogies over there, right?
Yeah.
So the Booger Man, we're dealing with the snotty guy under your bed. Is that what your parents were trying to teach you to be afraid of, was just blowing your nose?
I guess so. I hadn't thought about it. Yeah, maybe there's some kind of subconscious kind of trying to sow seeds there to stop that. But yeah, somebody had also said that the reason it wasn't Boogeyman over here is because we'd think it's more like, he dances or something.
Boogeyman, bow, bow, bow. He'd be the Fanny Man. I used the word Fanny this morning. That was fun.
Yes, you reminded me of Scary Movie 2.
You're like, why don't you leave me alone? What is Scary Movie 2? Does that have a Fanny in it?
I want to say it's Scary Movie 2. The guy who, I forget his name. God, what the fuck else is he in? I think he's in Something About Mary as well. Plays
Chris
the weird, the weird butler guy. He's like, oh, my fanny's coming through. I think that's him anyway.
Hey, even if you're wrong, it's right.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
So here comes the American trailer here for The Boogeyman.
When you were a child, did they warn you about the Boogeyman? The Boogeyman. He hurt bad children and did terrible things to their mommies. But you can't kill the Boogeyman. Now, the most terrifying nightmare of childhood returns. The Boogeyman. The Boogeyman. He's going to get you. And you. And you.
You're not going to scare me.
Had its own power. The Boogeyman. You can't hide from him. By the time they believe in him, too late. The Boogeyman. He's going to get you.
I was going to read from the American frickin' VHS tape, but it's literally the entire plot. Which is so, I mean, it's too long, maybe 4 paragraphs, just 2 long columns on the American VHS. And I said, nah, dog.
Not that they would, ever recycle the plot of this film, for like other purposes.
Yes. I'm not infuriated at all, Mr. Guy who loves clip show movies who's not me. Okay, so here is the beautiful Vipco VHS, the 1992 VHS tape here, which has some interesting things on it here. It's got the Coca-Cola logo, and it says Cult Classic on it in the Coca-Cola logo. What was Vipco doing? But they have this as a frightener. It's a frightener. This videotape's confusing. Anyway, here's the plot. At the age of 3, Lacey witnessed a horrifying killer. Oh, fuck. Killing, the murder of her mother's sadistic lover by Lacey's older brother William. Since he is mute, the bedroom mirror remains the only witness to the incident. Soon afterwards, Lacey and William are sent away to live in Virginia with relatives. Only the house and the mirror remain, keeping their dark secret until, 20 years later, there's a lot of commas in this shit, the evil stored within is ready to be awakened. That's it. I wish my notes that I'm about to read from were that succinct. I got a little carried away here, Simon.
Oh, don't worry.
We're going to do this. So, The Boogeyman opens with some titles to tell us who is responsible for this movie.
Some ominous whooshing over the title as well.
This frickin' soundtrack, boy. I'm going to go ahead and say one of the things about this movie is its soundtrack.
Yeah.
It is very memorable. I don't know if you have seen the dude on YouTube, Lampy Man.
Yeah.
What is he did a Video Nasty review show.
He did, yeah.
And he always used the music from this movie as his intro for many years.
Cool.
If you guys find, let me look up, because I really recommend you guys check out his reviews.
Lampy Man, yeah.
Lampy Man 101 on YouTube. He does a series of Francos called Francophile. He does In Extremis, where he talks about really extreme movies. Cynical Celluloid is just great stuff. So find any of these things. He's really awesome. But yes, the Boogeyman music, dude, by someone named Tim Krog, or Krog. He did the music for this, and then, of course, it got reused in Boogeyman 2, and that's it.
It's a damn shame, yeah, because it's really good. And I was going to say I want a Krog synthesizer now.
That would be so awesome if it was just Uli Lamel misspelling Korg. I think it's a good joke. I like it. I love Korg. I have many little Korgs. I'm a Corgi enthusiast.
Nice.
We're gonna do the sequels today. We're gonna talk briefly about the sequels, very briefly about Return of the Boogeyman, as briefly as humanly possible. Like, we'll mention that it exists. But Boogeyman 2, yes.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. But yeah, this music is fucking awesome. I need to buy this score on vinyl, man.
Yeah. Did you see that? I think I sent you some kind soul. They'd put a video of theirs playing on YouTube, and they had a little, I've never seen one of these before. They had before it included with it a CD vinyl that you said, don't put this in your CD player, it is actually vinyl. It seemed to be, as far as I can tell, just a recording of the trailer put on this little thing. I've
seen mini records that like the something like that, but no, I've actually never seen that. It was really weird. I wasn't sure what I was looking at. And that vinyl is black in the center and green around the edges. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like, I love crazy colored vinyl. I think it's a really dynamic piece of music.
Yeah.
It has that really recognizable piece, but then it hits you with so many other things, and it's just, oh man. So yeah. Yeah,
lots of nice little atmospheric touches and stuff.
And one of the things about this movie is when it starts, you see this suburban neighborhood, you have this haunting synthesizer, you got the POV, and you quickly realize, I accidentally put on my Halloween 1978 VHS. Whoops. I'm watching the wrong movie. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's weird because like the opening, obviously they're riffing off Halloween, but it kind of, the opening shot, how it pans down from those trees and everything. It's very Halloween too, as well. Like the opening shot of that. Yeah,
this is a slasher movie combined with like Amityville Horror, and some other psychic movie. I'm not sure what. This is not a run of the mill slasher at all, but it, especially part 2, it turns into a slasher parody. Yeah. And parts of this are definitely a parody. Oh my god. So we see this woman in her house. This is Kinky Mommy, and Kinky Mommy, man, she likes to party. Boy, oh boy, does she like to party. This actress is Gillian Gordon. She was in something else called The Sister-in-Law from 1974. Didn't do anything else. She's a very interesting looking actress. She likes to put her stocking, her pantyhose, on her boyfriend's head, and that turns her on, and then later it will turn her off, which is funny. And I can't help but think of frickin' Christmas Evil during this part.
Totally.
Oh my god, it's just so weird. This movie's great at reminding me of other films. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and say it. When the kids are in the window, her children are watching this display of perversity, which obviously is not that perverse. I know, Simon, you're into this. Not judging. I'm like, wow, Twin Peaks much?
Yeah, it's weird you say that, because in the scene where they go into the bedroom before Willie comes in with the knife and everything, like that window, there's something about the look of that bedroom. I was expecting Bob to come through it. It just looks like the lighting and everything, it's like identical to Fire Walk With Me.
Totally. No, you said Willie, so every time we say Willie, I'm gonna giggle. It's fine. We'll get over this. So the kids are peeping, watching this fun stuff, and this pair of adults, they do what any normal people do when their kids accidentally walk in on them doing their stuff. They immediately tie the little boy up and gag him as well. And I said, that seems a little cruel. Just a little bit. My parents would, I don't even have a joke. There's no joke there. I'm not even going to go there. Oh, I should have thought about that before. So, little sis, little Lacey goes to the rescue. She gets a butcher knife, and you're like, okay, she's finally going to kill her brother. She's been waiting for this moment. But no, she uses the knife to cut Willie loose. And then Willie strikes. Willie takes the knife, and we get our real Halloween ripoff here of him walking through the house with the butcher knife.
Oh, that POV shot, man.
It's beautiful. Put on a little Halloween mask. That would have been great. This is just such a fine way to start this movie. I can just imagine people in the theaters going to see this shit. Like, oh man.
And it has like right from the off as well, like, the nice like coloured like gel lighting and stuff, all the blue and like yellow and stuff. Yes. It has the the atmosphere, and I suppose we should talk about this now. The vibe. What kind of a species of it, because we're having. Last night, as I think you will have seen, I doubled this with the City of the Living Dead, because it gives me that feeling of like Fulci films of that era of European director coming in and making kind of a film in America, and the kind of weird feeling that gives it.
Even when you have an American cast, sometimes those European directors come over and it just is they're trying to replicate an American style. And they fail. And it's not a bad failure.
Oh no,
it's just not. No. It's not a successful. God, you sure fooled us, because that tone you're talking about. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's it. Well. And also both of them, I guess, I don't know how much was City of the Living Dead. I mean, although I suspect he was kind of doing a bit, because especially when we got to the Beyond, Fulci was kind of coming out and saying, who was he invoking, like, was it Antonin, what the hell's his last name? Is it Artaud, the Theatre of Cruelty guy? And, clearly, putting his cards on the table saying, I'm kind of trying to make an art film here. And Uli Lommel as well, definitely coming with, and I'm not saying this with any in a bad way, with similar pretensions, I guess, and I use that word in the most neutral sense I can. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all, No,
I get your meaning, and it's we'll see that very situation parodied in the next film, so hilariously so. So Willie stabs the lover to death, and we flash forward to the church scene with some hot frickin' church singing. Oh,
Reverend has a lovely singing voice, doesn't he?
Wow, it's piercing and lovely. We see Lacey all grown up. This is Susanna Love, who was married to Uli Lamel for a while. And boy, howdy, man, I love this lady. I'm a Susanna Love lover.
Yeah, she's great.
I mean, not that kind, but I love her. And her brother, actor Nicholas Love, plays Willie. Not with his Willie. Stop it. If he did play with his Willie, he might have been a little less tense. But holy crap, we've got a Twin Peaks connection.
Oh, yeah.
What the front door. So good old Nicholas Love was in Wild at Heart, which I don't think I recognized him.
Oh, no, I do now. He's, do you remember towards the end? God, how would I never notice this? Yeah, I'm pretty sure towards the end, after Nicolas Cage, he's been released from prison the second time, and he's met up with Laura Dern and his son, but he's, they kind of think, oh, no, it's not working, and he walks off. And goes across, there's been like a car accident, and the guy in the wheelchair, I'm guessing this is Nicholas Love, it's like,
oh my God.
Yeah, oh shit, man, the same thing happened to me last year. And, it's just, again, typical.
That is so crazy.
Classic, disturbing but funny kind of Lynch moment.
That is so amazing. And of course, he was in 3 episodes of Twin Peaks Season 2, which, of course, huge disappointment that he didn't show up in The Return.
Yeah, him or
I'm
his...
just kidding. I didn't know who he was. I'm looking up this character. So he played Malcolm Sloan.
Yeah, he was the guy who was Evelyn Marsh's brother, not brother. The guy who was, I think he was Mr. Marsh's driver or something. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Dude, my mind is blown. No wonder you're going crazy when you're messaging about this freaking Twin Peaks connection. God bless America. Wow. So the two of them are sitting in church. I'm trying to recover. The two of them are sitting in church, singing along. And then Lacey goes to confess to the priest. And she says something I really love. And she says, I feel like something bad is going to happen. Yep. You are right. So Willie is mute, as the VHS box states. He and his sister, Lacey, live with their aunt and uncle who adopted them after Mommy had to give them up. Lacey has a kid. Oh, what a sweet little kid. Named Kevin. Good old Kevin. Raymond Boyden, household name. Went on to be in The Boogeyman and then be interviewed about The Boogeyman.
Boogeyman 2 and, we'll get to this later, Uli Lomel's Boogeyman 2 director's cut.
Oh my
Brackets
God.
video. Yep.
Oh boy, Brackets video. So I love this kid. They let him play by a well, and every time he's sitting on the edge of that well, I get the heebie-jeebies. Because I just imagine that kid falling. And that well must have been sealed off or something, because that is horrible. Sadako climbs out and grabs him. She's the one from the Asian horror movies who goes, just kidding. That's Kayako. Anyway. At dinner, we have these hilariously idyllic farmhouse dinner scenes, something out of the Waltons or some shit. And they get a letter from their dying mother, and she's just a bitch in the letter. And then you notice something important about the architecture of the house that Lacey, Willie, and the kid and their husband live in.
Yes, totally.
It's the fucking Amityville house. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, we'll be mentioning Jake, Lacey's husband, played by Ron James. And Ron James was in one other Uli Lamel movie called A Taste of Sin, a.k.a. Olivia, which also, of course, stars Susanna Love. I want to see some more of his 80s movies. There's something about him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to see Brainwaves, which we'll be discussing Brainwaves very briefly because there's scenes of it in one of his other movies we'll be talking about briefly.
Brainwaves. They have violated the laws of nature.
Yeah, I didn't realise like I say, this. If I'd realised this interview with Susanna Love was this long, I would have read it early this week, but I just had a chance to skim some of it. And yeah, I'll pull some bits about the Boogeyman later, but I want to say, did he do a movie, or they did a movie with Klaus Kinski later as well? Because it seems like, from what I can tell here, that she ran off with Klaus for a while.
That would be not a good decision.
Yeah, this is towards the end of the interview. It said, but you did not stay with Klaus for long, right? Yeah, it was good while it lasted, but I finally did leave him. I called him a stinky old man. He was a total tyrant and always putting people down all the time.
Oh boy, it's because he was mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
Wow. Wowie, wow. That Klaus got some hot ladies, man. He had a way about him.
Mm.
So at the dinner table, you have the terrifying chicken carving scene.
Oh boy.
The knife just slicing up that delicious chicken is making Lacey crazy, and she's just haunted. I love her performance in this. She's like totally freaked out. After dinner, oh yeah, this movie likes to have flashbacks to the inciting incident of the children and their trauma, but that we didn't realize this would be a thing with all the movies. Flashback. Willie steals the knife off the table, takes it upstairs, and he has a whole knife collection. And Lietta was like, how did they not know he is stealing the knives and the freaking meat cleavers and everything? What is going on here? But he burns the letter from Mom, who's saying, come back. I want to see you one more time before I die. He's like, fuck you, bitch. We have this great moment where Lacey's in the bathroom with her kid. She's getting Kevin to brush his teeth, which, folks, I don't know if I've talked about this on the Doom Show before. We've been recording for 17 years now, so I probably have. Watching people brush their teeth in movies makes me get chills really bad. I've never brushed my teeth. I don't want to get into it. No, I'm just saying, for some reason, it always makes me go, ooh, like that. I don't know why.
Well, I wonder how you'll feel about a certain scene in Boogeyman 2 then. Oh my god.
Which was so ridiculous it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
But this great moment of foreshadowing happens when after her son, Kevin, leaves the room, she's staring in the mirror and she wipes off half of the mirror. And half of her face is obscured. And that half, I believe, is where the mirror will be happening.
Oh, shit. I never noticed that, I don't think. Or not consciously.
I think. It was very interesting. Meanwhile, we see we see this dream sequence. Spoiler alert, this is a dream sequence. Willie goes into this room. There's a disgusting rotten deer head on the wall. Someone did not do good taxidermy on this deer head. It looks disgusting. And it made me think of the song by The Locust called Moth-Eaten Deer Head.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which is a fine song by them. I love them. This turns out to be Lacey's nightmare. She's tied up, and we have gratuitous knife sharpening, and she's in her underwear, and she has this whole nightmare. She wakes up screaming, and her husband, Jake, wants to talk about the dream, wants to talk about her past, and she tells him straight up, I don't want to remember. Now, folks, Jake is trying to help. Always remember, Jake is trying to help. He's wrong. He should stop trying to help, but he's trying to help. He's gonna bring about the death of lots of people.
One of my few notes I think about, particularly about Jake, was patronizing much.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He is. He totally is. Let's enter into a scene with John Carradine, folks. When John Carradine is your psychotherapist or whatever, you're fucked.
Yeah, it made me think of, similarly with Ivan Razumov in Shock.
Yes. You are in trouble. But, it's one of those things where the trivia is like, all of David Carradine's scenes were shot in one day. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. He doesn't exist outside of that room.
Yeah, apparently Uli Lomel picked him up at like 5 a.m. They went and shot it all, and then he he was taking him home at night, fell asleep on the freeway. It's like, yeah, better take a nap. It's like, no shit.
Don't kill our national treasure.
That's it. I mean, even if he was in his 80s, it's like, don't precipitate his, shuffling off this mortal coil, please.
He hypnotizes her. I love hypnotism scenes in horror movies. That's like my new favorite thing. And immediately we get a possession moment. So
amazing.
We've got Amityville Horror, The Exorcist, frickin' Halloween, all mashed into one for no fucking reason. When Susanna Love is under, they do her voice all demonic, and this immediately scares Jake so bad. He's like, man, we gotta go back to their family home, which makes me think This is the time to repress. Just go home and live with the nightmares. Find that drug that Nancy was taking in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 that made her not dream anymore. Come on. Just bury that shit, dog.
Jake, I'd like to ask you not to discuss Lacey's condition with the rest of the family.
Tell me, Doctor, why was she talking like that?
We will have to find out. Where is the mother now?
Well, they haven't seen each other since that night. But yesterday we got this letter from her, and I think this is what brought back all these memories.
They live just across the river in Virginia. Is the house still there?
I don't know, I guess so. Why?
I want you to go back with her and take a look at it. You've got to convince her. She has to see the house and remember it the way it is now, not the way it was 20 years ago.
So while they're going to the house, when they're going to the old homestead where all the trauma happened, Lacey's pal shows up. Lacey's friend comes to pick up some eggs. I cannot remember her frickin' name to save my life. But this lady shows up and immediately tries to seduce Willie. She tries to break that Willie out of his coveralls. Just unleash the Willie. I got a million of them, folks. No, I don't. I just have those two. Yep. So she says to Willie this amazing line. She says, "Whenever we're in church, I want you." And Willie doesn't do this. He doesn't do good with women, especially not when there's a mirror around. So while she's flirting with him, he sees himself in a mirror, gets possessed by the spirit of mom's lover and starts choking her, lifts her off her feet, which, hey, we need a safe word here, people. She gets away. Willie doesn't kill her, thank God. She recoils and is like, "You're crazy." No shit. Willie starts painting the mirrors black. Rolling Stones reference. And he's got to paint all the mirrors. I love, it's such a creepy thing. Just every mirror, that the aunt is walking around the house and every fucking mirror is painted. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I bet him and Kiefer Sutherland's character in mirrors, they'd get on pretty well, wouldn't they? Have a fun time, painting all afternoon.
Oh my God, I forgot about that movie. They get to the house, the old house, and it's a family is living there, but they are trying to sell it. The parents are away, so the teenagers and the little kid, the Fleabag little kid, Fleabag! They are like, "Oh, you want to look at the house? Come on in." Of course, they lie and pretend they're prospective home buyers, are touring the whole place. Timmy scares Lacey by screaming Fleabag from the shower. Fleabag! He does not scream Fleabag. He screams Boogeyman, but dude, it's great. He flirts with Lacey, says, "Hey, gorgeous." Wow, 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 wow. This little shithead kid is so awesome.
Oh, he's up there in the pantheon of just terrible children in horror films.
Oh, my lord. He's played by David Schwimmer, a young David Schwimmer from Friends. No, he's played by David Swim, and this, of course, is his only acting credit. Man, fucking David Schwimmer. God damn it. Can't stand that fucking guy. Anyway, he's probably doing some push-ups and screaming into a mirror at himself.
Did you see, I haven't watched it, but somebody had done a recut of scenes from Friends, but they'd taken the laugh track off with him on, just to make him look like a complete psychopath. Yeah,
I have indeed. Lacey follows Timmy around, and she ends up in the bedroom, and she's staring into that mirror, the mirror that started this whole thing. When frickin' Willie was stabbing the lover, you could see him in the reflection. And when she looks in the mirror, she sees the lover's ghost on the bed. But when she looks at the bed, he's not there. Genuinely creepy. Oh, man, it's so good.
Oh, yeah, and you get the most amazing stinger as well, which you'll hear again later, when the reveal of her being possessed comes up.
Fucking awesome. She beats the shit out of the mirror. Mirror does not take it very well. Now, here's when the movie gets completely fucking wacko, where Jake, the husband, does something so fucking stupid. Now, folks, this is the Doom Show. I know we talk about shit thanks to Jeffrey, thanks to the movies we choose, but really Jeffrey, where nothing makes any sense. But the therapy, the idea that Jake wants her to confront her fears by bringing home a broken mirror bagging up this broken mirror. He apologizes. He offers to pay for the mirror. The teenagers are like, nah, dog, it's all good. And they frickin' leave with the mirror, the broken mirror, and a bag of pieces. And fucking, she's trying to stop him.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well either when she takes him to a therapist that has a giant mirror wall behind him, I think.
Oh my god, it's mirrors, man. Mirrors. And he wants to take it back to the farm. And my favorite laugh out loud moment in this movie, for me, is when the movie cuts jarringly to Jake putting the mirror back together in the kitchen.
Yeah.
He has fucking reassembled this mirror piece by piece, and I laugh so hard. It does not make a lick of fucking sense.
Oh, that's it, because just the sheer amount of time he must have taken, how insane he would look, if you actually saw him do that.
So she's got horrible memories, and he's OCD motherfucker. That's so good. So back at the house, we go back to the teenagers. This is... I'm so bad at these teenagers' names. Maybe Jane and Susan, I think.
Well, there's 4 people here who are just literally credited as teenager, so that doesn't really...
Oh, yeah, well, those are probably the ones making out.
Oh, later on, yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, yeah.
It's very confusing,
It'll be Jane and Susan then, we think, yeah.
They're hanging. The one girl, she's cutting up the biggest peppers I've ever seen. She's making some kind of a salad, and... these green peppers, they look like as big as heads of lettuce. I'm like, what the fuck? Must be in farm country or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. The one girl wants to cut her hair, but her scissors are missing. She goes looking for her scissors. Meanwhile, Timmy is eating his weight in ice cream. I had no idea what he was eating. He's taken one of those old-timey boxes of ice cream and has disassembled it to make it into a giant bowl, and I think he's intending to finish it.
Yeah, I think it said coffee on the outside of it, so, actually God knows.
Timmy. Fleabag! So he gets a naughty idea because the one sister's in the bathroom doing her thing, cutting her hair, and she's doing it. I always remember this actress as being completely topless, but it's my brain... making their flesh-colored top disappear.
Yes, I hear you.
So, because I'm a pervert.
It's okay, so is Timmy, you're in good company there. Now, what is going on with these two? Because she presumes he's already about, although he's outside looking up at the window. Yes. And regarding Jeff, she's like, oh, he's so handsome. As if she's like trying to make her brother jealous. It's like, what?
She is literally trying to make her brother jealous. That's so good. So, of course... she's in the bathroom talking to this POV. We know it's not Timmy, but of course, and she confesses her incestuousness for her brother. And then he's climbing up the side of the house to peek in the window, but she starts to cut her hair and goes crazy. The scissors are controlling themselves. Get used to sharp objects controlling themselves. That's a theme. It will never go away. But instead, she cuts her top and then she frickin' stabs herself in the throat. As she's dying, Timmy climbs in the window and screams Fleabag. But this time he mispronounces it where it sounds like Boogeyman. Boogeyman! The window falls and crushes his neck and you hear a crunching sound, which isn't the lamest death in this movie.
Oh boy.
It's just about to happen. The other sister comes up. She sees this crazy scene. The shard of the mirror that was left behind is the incitement. I'm going to use the word incite a lot in this episode for no reason. Misuse the word. And she picks up this mirror and she's shaking like a leaf with this mirror and she puts it in the sink, bleeding all over the place. The piece of mirror hits the sink, catches on fire, and then... the lamest thing ever, which I rewound 2 times because I had to see it. Imagine rewinding this movie to see something again when you intend to watch the sequels. Big mistake.
Yeah.
So the frickin' medicine cabinet smacks her in the face, presumably killing her. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like the scissors, you're like, fair enough. The window, still kind of, especially when you hear the crunching. But yeah, okay, it's like, okay, that happened.
Uli Lamel is a funny dude. He likes to make comedies.
I think so.
We get Willie and his bag of mirror shards. I don't know. His Willie in his sack. Okay, there we go. He's got his mirror shards. Whenever the mirror shards are around, things happen. His radio goes all crazy. Pitchfork flies at him, and just before he gets killed, Lacey jumps and grabs him. And then we get another scene of Jake's condescension. Here we go. He's trying to get Lacey to give up these crazy fantasies and to stop all this bullshit. It's time to go to the lake, do some fishing. So as Kevin, little Kevin, I think I've been calling him Willie by accident, so in case you're confused, good. Kevin wants to go fishing, so he and Mom go off to the lake. This movie, man, it's so pretty. This frickin' cinematographer. There's 2 cinematographers credited. One dude, I think, was one of the producers. Joaquin Breitenston. I'm totally butchering that name. He's a producer. Apparently, he grabbed the camera and shot some shit. Not sure. But the main dude who shot this is David Sperling. This dude shot some cool frickin' stuff. Now, he worked with Uli Lamel on Olivia, aka A Taste of Sin, but he shot Toxic Zombies, another video nasty. Toxic Zombies is a movie from my youth that freaked me out as a kid, and it's so bad. It's enjoyable. It's got a charm to it, but it's kind of a sleeper, kind of a snoozy. That was one I saw on Commander USA's Groovy Movies as a kid. He also shot frickin' Street Trash.
Oh my god.
Which I saw for the first time. My god, love me some frickin' Street Trash. And then his career just took off. Yeah, he's still working to this day, shooting all kinds of things. And yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice career. I think, wait a minute, I don't think he was the only cinematographer on Street Trash. Because I don't think he was the guy with the frickin'...
Because Jim Muro was it who directed it. He owned a Steadicam, which was obviously a good investment for him. So he went on to work on all these like megabucks films like Terminator 2 and stuff.
There you go. I almost remembered the Joe Bob trivia. Almost. Oh boy. But yeah, Street Trash. Wow, what a film. What a fucking insane film.
Yeah.
While good old Kevin and Lacey are innocently fishing, because, moms always take their sons fishing. That is the stereotype. Not really, but it should be. Fuck, yeah. I don't want to go fishing. God, my dad tried to get me to fish, and now I hate fishing. Just like my dad tried to get me into football. Didn't work.
Not keen on either.
You can take a horse to water, but you can't take a bag of glass shards away from a willy. That's the saying. We get a double death. Well, we get an almost blowjob from these teenagers. So these are like college-age people, not necessarily teenagers. They're hanging out by the lake, goofing on each other, being assholes. And one dude is wearing a Triumph t-shirt. I'm assuming it's the band Triumph and not the Cars. But, we got a kitten. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yes. Kitten cameo. Nice.
Spasmo. That's Spasmo, by the way. I don't know if the microphone picked it up too well, but that's our Spasmo. She's trying to star on the show.
My dog noped out of the room ages ago.
He's like, for whatever reason. See ya. I'm not going to go into this dynamic of these two couples, other than they decide not to have sex in the creepy ass abandoned house, and they want to go back to his place or something, or her place. And the mirrors, the mirror, which glued itself to Kevin's shoe, is reflecting all over the place. Evil mirrors. The boyfriend goes to the car, and he gets killed by a freaking meat skewer for their barbecue, and he's stuck there, and the girlfriend goes to see what's wrong with him because he's taking a really long time. When she looks in the car, the best moment, he just looks at her going, she's freaked out. The mirror piece makes the car door smack her in the butt, and she goes flying into him. We get great double death.
Indeed. And
the other couple at the lake just think that this is the longest kiss I've ever seen. What a bunch of perverts.
I love that song as well that's playing while they're driving off. What is it? Baby Go Bye-Bye. It's like very, very apt. And I didn't realise, and this actually ties into, we'll get into Boogeyman too, that was done by, he did 2 songs for this, 4 out of 5 Doctors.
Yes. What a fucking awesome name for a band.
They were the band, I believe, in House on Sorority Row, and we'll come to them again.
Oh my God.
That's why I was thinking watching Boogeyman 2, I suppose maybe I'll talk about it now. It's like, why do these songs sound familiar? It's because, of course, they were in that fucking movie.
Dude, thank you. That's great trivia. I did not know that connection. Fuck. Oh, here comes a kitten. What are you doing, dude? Spasmo? What's up, bitch? Here she comes. Just getting on the table, getting on the desk here. I am so distracted, folks. If you only knew how cute this kitten is. Maybe I'll put her in the art for the episode since she's a guest star. One thing about the girl who doesn't get killed, the one who drives away with her boyfriend, she looks so much like a girl I had a crush on. It's disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
I chased that girl for 5 years, and she was a dickhead. She was like, oh, are you dating somebody right now? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, I suddenly have feelings for you. I'm like, okay.
Oh, God.
Break up with my girlfriend. Oh, you know what? This is weird. You're like my brother. And I'm like, I can work with that.
Oh, no.
Do you know about Willie? Do you know about Timmy? Fleabag! Fleabag! So we've got lots of heavy breathing. We get lots of freaking awesome stalking. This is, oh man, just slashy goodness. And then their friends, like you said, leave them there, drive off. Back at the house, it's almost something's going on. Maybe dinner time's coming. Jake finds a mirror shard on the ground in the kitchen and tries to put it back, and everything goes haywire. Another shaky blood as you're cutting yourself on the glass. Lacey's shirt starts ripping open, and she's screaming. Now, Jake believes her. Now, the dad, who's actually the uncle, the older guy, he believes her too. He's like, I'm calling the fucking priest. Calls in Father Riley, as played by someone named Llewellyn Thomas. Not a prolific actor at all. This was his only movie, but he's the dude in all the artwork with the blood dripping down his face. I have a Boogeyman t-shirt, which I bought when I was skinny. And no longer fits. Fuck everything. Man. Man. It is an awesome shirt. I got it from Evil Speak magazine. Nice. And it was cheap and it was great until I got fat again.
Got it. It's, I feel like I'd seen him in something else, but I think it's just because I've seen that artwork that much. You know?
Yep, over and over and over. Yeah. You know what you saw him in? You saw him in Boogeyman 2 and Return of the Boogeyman.
Exactly.
Priest comes in to save the day. Lacey is fucking losing her mind now. She's freaking out, and it's I can't help but love Susanna Love, dude. She's so good in this. I can't stress that enough.
Absolutely.
She has a weird way of delivering dialogue that I think people interpret as bad, but I don't know, man. I like her.
No, I think it's pretty straight up.
She's literally praying to God to get her through this. It's, oh man, I feel for her.
It's kind of funny that because, yeah, her prayers are answered, but I suppose that's because Dad's calling the priest in the previous scene, but it kind of works out nicely.
And then, hold on, cat's on. Come on, move it. Oh my God. She's almost walking on my keyboard. I'm like, I don't want to know what's going to happen. Jake goes back to David Carradine. No. So dumb. This part is so fucking dumb, dude. It's now nighttime. So it's the end of the shooting day. So everyone's fucking punch drunk. Oh, it's so funny. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Yeah, he's about to read him a previous case, which he thinks might have some bearing. And then he's like, no, not interested. I'm going.
Somebody says, do you yourself believe in evil as a tangible force?
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. And the priest just completely dodges this question. So it's like, so this mirror has its own force. So I can't remember what the fuck he says. But anyway, the mirror, it doesn't like the priest touching it because everything suddenly goes red, I think, right after that.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so, oh my God. So everything goes red. We get the mirror in the eye. So Lacey, the mirror, the piece has flown up and has gotten on her eye. It's just a wonderful thing.
That shot is amazing.
If I was a lady, like a sleek, sexy lady, I would totally cosplay as her. I'd get that frickin' blue dress, which looks like a bathrobe, weirdly enough, and just have the frickin' mirror glued to my eye. And dude, oh my God, so cool.
Indeed.
Both her aunt and uncle get killed in the barn.
Yeah, it's...
oh, boy.
You know, even though it's off screen, I still love this, and it's very like, I don't know, like Friday the 13th Part 3 or something like that almost, you know, just the barn's always a good slasher location.
Mm-hmm. When Brad and I text each other, we noticed that BAM! The word like BAM looks like barn, or barn looks like BAM. Yes. So I always text him like, barn! That's great. That's just how fun Brad and I are. Look out. Jake comes home and Lacey's freaking cooking dinner and being completely creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. When Jake finally gets a look at her, she's got the mirror on her eye, and he makes his eyes bleed, which is one of the most iconic shot from this fucking movie is when his eyes are bleeding in the kitchen. He's covering his eyes. Oh man. I just love that fucking sequence. Oh, it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
And it's showdown time. We're getting to the brawl, the battle for Lacey's soul, y'all.
Lacey, what are you doing?
I'm fixing supper, dear.
Lacey, Ernest and Helen are dead.
Oh, that makes dinner for four. Father Riley, you're staying, aren't you? Would you be down and fix me a drink?
Lacey?
Priest tries to help. Good luck with that. He's bleeding from his head. Blood's everywhere. That the artwork you've seen 1,000 times happens. He takes the mirror off her eye, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, even though he's like had a load of kitchen utensils and what have you flown into his back, he still manages to kind of get across and extract the mirror piece. God bless him.
Carrie, this is also a Carrie ripoff. Oh, shit on a brick. This movie's so wonderful.
Yeah.
And so all is well. We save the day. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of this. Willie is just sitting at the dinner table screaming during all this.
Yeah, he has awesome. His sort of calling forward to, is it Joey out of Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors? Yes. And finds his voice.
It's so good. Lacey! I wonder what their brother and sister relationship was really like, if this was just the most hilarious thing ever, or if like they had a real childhood trauma and this was their therapy movie. Like that'd be something else.
Oh yeah.
Susanna Love, if you're listening, let me know, brother.
Well, like I say, from what I'd read in this interview with her, she does sound like she had a bit of a wild time, especially when she was in Hollywood. So
oh boy. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to the next one.
Oh god, yeah.
So we think it's over. They go to the grave of the aunt and uncle. Nobody goes to the priest's grave. That's fucked up. That's mean. I don't think we see Jake again.
No, we don't.
But he's not dead. He's alive. He survives.
I always think, when they go to the well and he, is like, and have the literally explosive disposing of the mirror. I always forget that, he does actually survive that. He doesn't go up in flames.
Thank you for catching that.
Oh, no worries.
They take the mirror piece, throw it in the well, because apparently water stops the power. I don't fucking know. And the well explodes. And how is he alive? I think they just left him alive just because. Just to say. I think when before they filmed that last scene, they probably just decided he was dead and then changed at the last minute for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Kevin is playing with another little boy in the park. The fucking cemetery. And they're wrestling. It's disturbing. I fucking hate little boys, man. I was not a normal kid. Like, if some kid was wrestling with me in the cemetery, I would probably be completely traumatized because of Salem's Lot. But
oh yeah.
More importantly, this kid's holding him down, and I just wanted to start crying watching this. Like, I was not really a tough kid. That's why it's so shocking that I'm such a brawler now. What? So we see the mirror on the shoe. Dun dun dun. It's not over. Okay, Spasmo. Leetta went out, so the cat is freaking out because, of course, she does not love me.
She's just waiting until we talk about her cameo in Boogeyman 2.
Oh, that's right. No, I meant Leetta doesn't love me. So, no, we're good. So the movie's over. We get that "Is it over?" Dun 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 stinger. Booyah! That's the whole plot of this one. If you missed anything, you'll see it in Boogeyman 2 and Return.
Oh yeah. The little, like, mirror shard, you know, how it's kind of glowing red. Does that remind you at all of, I forget what it is, it's like a stone or something in Sweet House of Horrors?
Oh, shit, yes. It was a rock that was possessed by the parents of the kids. Mm-hmm. Fuck. Everyone, get out of the way of the bulldozer! Man, folks, if you haven't seen Sweet House of Horrors, go watch it.
Oh,
it's wonderful.
Indeed.
Man, that's the little Fulci movie that couldn't. So yeah, we have some sweet trivia, I bet, about this fucking movie. I bet you.
Do you want to go? Do you want me to read from this? Let's see, I got some notes from this interview with Lee Lamel.
Yes,
so, please. Yeah, shot in October 79 for about 4 weeks, I think, for $300K. He didn't want to go back to New York again because the year before he'd been there, to edit the film, it was cold as shit. So he ended up driving with the print, like, cross-country for days and days to LA, I think, to somewhere called the Tropicana Hotel, and he rented a suite, including a room to edit. And there's two stories about this I've heard. One says at the pool that he met, and I still can't get over this, is that this is if it's true, and he did hang out with some interesting people, so it's entirely possible. William fucking Burroughs.
What?
The other story I've heard says that Burroughs knocked on his door one night because he heard these weird noises, presumably him editing the film coming, and invited him, and apparently helped him start editing the scene, editing the film, specifically the fucking kiss of death scene. And I was going to ask you about that. Was that a shish kebab that impaled him? Yeah. Sort of calling forward, obviously, to happy birthday to me.
I think it was.
Nice. But, what? William Burroughs?
That's insane.
So yeah, this was apparently quite a big success. He was saying to the extent they couldn't make the prints fast enough. This later leading, he says, to Paramount, we're going to give him $3 million to make a sequel, but it didn't work out because,
Holy
he's
shit.
an auteur and the rest of it. And I have a direct quote from him here. He says, this is just funny going on. I really hate sequels.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. So his arm was twisted, but he was told he could do anything. So, as revenge, he played himself as the director, who doesn't want to make a horror film, shooting it mostly at his house. It's kind of sort of a commentary on this sort of thing, I guess. And yeah, I may as well read all this out now before we get to 2 and 3. Saying later he'd sold the rights to someone else for 3. And 3 he describes as, he says, that sort of a quirky little thing. Which I can't disagree there. Apparently later licensed the name for the ones in the 2000s. And I have some, these are just by the by, but I just still thought it would be kind of interesting insight into his mind. Some further quotes from says, most of us were, or all of us were all children and no one grows up. Television is for 5-year-olds.
Wow.
And yeah, he tried to do most of the takes in one because that's just kind of how he rolls, which leads him towards the end to, and this will tie into 2, to shit-talking Brian De Palma because, Uli Lomel's uber economical and De Palma really isn't.
No.
So yeah, he's a interesting bloke, I would say, was Uli.
According to the trivia, there's a poster for Boogeyman in De Palma's Blowout.
Yes, yeah, that.
And since De Palma was they were making a bad horror movie in that movie, I wonder if Lamel was like, "Oh, fuck you, asshole."
Yeah. Yeah, that explains it. God, I'm glad you caught that. I forgot about that because, in Boogeyman 2, they're specifically shit-talking Blowout, aren't they?
Let's see this. Something interesting here. At least to me. I'm not an interesting guy. Whatever. According to Wikipedia, like you said, this movie is about $300,000 to shoot. According to this, the box office for Boogeyman, $25 million. That is nuts.
Yeah.
No wonder the fallout with the sequels. Let's see. This was distributed on VHS, as I said before, by Vipco. In the US, it was distributed on Wizard Video, the frickin' infamous Wizard Video with their big boxes. I have an interesting copy of Boogeyman. I have the CED. So, folks, this is a format that I had never heard of before. Let me look up this real quick, what it stands for. Capacitance Electronic Disc.
There's world waiting for you at the end of our rainbow.
What you've just seen is a small part of what will be available. There's more and more to come.
A wide selection of wonderful entertainment on the new CED stereo video discs. Take it away, Kermit.
When you open one of these things up, it will make your mind leak out of your ears because it's as big as a laser disc.
Oh my God.
It looks like a laser disc case.
Yeah.
But it's plastic, and when you click the little dealies on the side, you pull the thing out, and inside is a giant floppy disk, like Willie. Ha! So it's crazy because you expect to see a silver disc, like a laser disc, but it's literally this black freaking floppy disk with little grooves on it. It looks like a record. It's so neat.
It's like a giant mini disc or something as well.
Yes. Naf and I were at a flea market years and years and years and years ago, and we found this store at the flea market, at one of the worst flea markets in town. Oh my God. Leanne and I went back there a couple years ago. It was terrifying. That's the Gun Highway flea market for you Tampons out there. And the dude had, not only did he have a bunch of CEDs like Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, and all these films, he had a fucking CED player that he claimed worked. Wild. And I did not buy it. But then, even more years later than that, Nafa went back there and he found a box that we did not go through, and he found The Boogeyman on CED, and he found Friday the 13th Part 2.
Nice.
Which I immediately threw in a frickin' box and shipped to Brad.
But of course.
Yeah, and I still have the Boogeyman CED hanging up on my wall in the music room. That's why I'm so proud of it. Let's see, how should we do this? Do we want to talk about how we feel about this film now and then briefly discuss the sequels?
Sure, I don't see why not.
So I volley to you like the guy who punts the volleyball in golf. How do you feel about The Boogeyman 1980?
Oh man, I fucking love this film. Yeah, I'm trying to remember when I first saw it. I think I saw it before I picked up 88 Films he put out on Blu-ray over here. And just let me check. Apparently this is region free, and I'm guessing it's still available. So
I better get that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was one that I really dug right from the off. But, in the last year or two, in recent rewatches, it has really become just like a firm favourite. Just something I can stick on pretty much any time. Love it. Yeah, I guess I alluded to this before, but yeah, again, it's just really, me. I think, you're kind of like this as well. A lot of, among other things in horror films, there's a lot of reasons why we love these things, but mood and atmosphere is always a big thing. And this, like I said, just from like the opening shots, just has it in spades. Definitely assisted by the lighting and the score, especially. I say I was vibing out. Any time I watch this.
Oh yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. I find this movie silly enough to goof on.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Then it's serious enough. Where the elements of psychology and stuff is as trite as they can be, there's still a real performance. Oh, now the other cat. Now we got a Gorgon. Silent but deadly. Don't step on the keyboard. Fuck. Hold on. Get up. Oh my God, she's heavy. You have the performance from Susanna Love that just sells it. She really makes you feel for her character, and she really just obviously the director was very taken with her, as was the cameraman, because the camera just loves her.
Yeah.
And aside from a little bit of exploitation shots, there's no like shower scene with her or anything. She really just owns this movie, and it's just so freaking beautiful.
Absolutely.
The sentient mirror pieces and the kinky weird shit, the incest, the hints of incest, and a little bit of bondage stuff thrown in there. All these little elements stolen from other films put together in this wonderful package. I wish I'd seen this as a kid. I really do. Because this would have just captured my imagination. I didn't see this until I randomly picked up the old Anchor Bay Boogeyman / Boogeyman 2 DVD. And I really... Whoa! Cat just fell off the shelf. That was amazing. She should have said, Fleabag, before she jumped down.
Boogeyman!
I liked Boogeyman the first viewing, didn't love it at all. And I tried watching the second one, and as soon as they started doing the clip show, I bailed and never watched Boogeyman 2. Then I sold it, and I just traded it in somewhere, fuck it. And then years later, I realized the error of my ways and managed to score a copy of Boogeyman with the Devinsville Terror, the ancient Anchor Bay, non-anamorphic widescreen. Hey, I'll take what I can get. The DVD looks great. I mean, it's, the early DVDs, they don't always look like shit.
No, this is true.
I did not watch the Devinsville Terror because I thought it was terrible. I watched 1 minute or less of it and just turned it off like an idiot. And 2018, I was, damn it, I'm going to watch all these unseen horror movies. Threw on Devinsville Terror. I might have read a good review of it that inspired me to finally get to it, but I fucking love that one. So that one will likely be happening on this show.
Cool, yeah, like I said, I'm excited to watch that. I'm trying to whether I have it in a Mill Creek pack. I might do.
You might just have it.
Remember the original Boogeyman? Well, he's back, more terrifying than ever, in Revenge of the Boogeyman. He's a spirit of evil captured forever in the glass of a mirror. Under the Hollywood sky, a filmmaker's dream becomes a nightmare. Once released, no one can halt the relentless revenge of the Boogeyman.
So, Boogeyman 2, released in 1983, not exactly directed by Uli Lamel.
Yeah, I'm still confused about this.
I think it's one of those things where it's the reason he's credited is because it uses so much footage from the other film. But this is a man named Bruce Pern who directed it.
Right.
Trying to see.
So I'd forgotten about that. It's just credited as Bruce Starr. I thought at first this is just some kind of pseudonym for Uli Lamel. But no, I don't think so. No, it doesn't seem to be. Yeah, he's got all these other credits.
Yeah, he's worked with Uli Lamel on some other stuff before. But yeah, he brought this piece. I won't say a masterpiece. It's a piece. Imagine if Jess Franco was called in.
Yes.
To direct the sequel. So here's the VHS tape. Boogeyman 2 from Sime Home Video. It says, "You didn't listen to Mama the first time. Now he's back again." Sure. The title of the plot says, "A nightmare brought to life. A little girl is witness to a murder that haunts her for the rest of her life. A man becomes possessed and her nightmare becomes a reality. A bloody trail of bodies is left and the hunt for the Boogeyman begins." So, I want to know, what else did Sime Video put out? Sime? Like I said earlier in this episode, I had never watched this.
Me neither.
I saw the bullshit reliance on footage from the first movie and bailed, which I had no idea just how bad that could get with the other sequel. Surprisingly, this didn't have as much footage from the first. It's kind of front-loaded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although, did you see about that? We mentioned it briefly before, didn't we? The kind of redux that Uli Lamel did, I think in 2003 of this.
Oh man, I did not find that. I did not know that existed until you kind of mentioned it today.
Yeah, I heard some information about it. Now, apparently, because like I say, I haven't seen it, that it has 95% of footage from the original film. The footage from Boogeyman 2 is sped up, and the rest of it is in interviews with is it Mickey, the director character that Uli Lamel plays in this, being interviewed by the police because he's been taken in for the murders, apparently.
What? Yeah. That's amazing. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, man.
Sime Home Video was the Australian label. So they put out Tourist Trap and 10 to Midnight and some other stuff. The American one that put out Boogeyman 2 is VC2 or VCII. They put out Prowler, Uli Lamel's other films. Night of the Demon. Yeah, boy.
The 1981?
Yep.
Oh, man,
Holy shit.
when for ages yesterday, it was one of those nights where forever I couldn't decide what to watch before I settled on City of the Living Dead. And Night of the Demon, which I've only seen once, that nearly got picked. Who knows? Maybe tonight. Yeah. Maybe tonight.
I have also only seen that once. That's a hell of a film. It's something else. It's crazy. But the plot of this one is Susanna Love's character, Lacey. She's gone off to Hollywood to visit her friend named Bonnie, played by Shanna Hall, not Susanna, Shanna Hall. She and her husband, Mickey, a.k.a. Uli Lamel, are in Hollywood and making a movie, shooting a movie in their pool, because that's how Hollywood works. And she's just there to recoup, to get away from the murders that plagued her. Her son is being watched by somebody, so we don't get any Kevin. No Kevin reprising.
Oh, no.
But they're in Hollywood, and as soon as Lacey tells them what's been going on with her and tells them about the murders and the mirror and all this shit, they're like, dude, get some Hollywood people out here. We got to do this. This would make a great movie. Mickey, Uli Lamel, is very frustrated by having to make a horror movie, and yet he's going to make a horror movie.
And I love how similarly his, I've forgotten her name, but yeah, a friend, she within, like about 30 seconds goes from, I feel so sorry or bad or whatever she says, about what's happened to her. Although, wouldn't this make a good movie?
Oh my God. I really like Uli Lamel. He can't act. But, he's doing something. But there's just something about him. He's kind of cool. He's got the leather jacket on. Seems like kind of a punk rock badass a little bit.
He says, and I can kind of sympathize with this, because I can go, from kind of, mood swings and the rest of it. He seems in the interview I watched kind of very chill and potentially kind of, sort of humble guy, but he admits, and this is, I think, why the Paramount thing fell through, that he can, if somebody crosses him, it's like, yeah, I want to beat the fucking piss out of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a bunch of Hollywood assholes come over, and then I don't want to forget the frickin' butler. The butler is weird. Everyone's weird. Everything in this movie is so abstract and obtuse. All of it is just so strange. And the first person I thought of is our dear sweet Jeffrey, our co-host. I was like, this is a fucking Jeffrey movie. And of course he loves it. I messaged him and he loves it. But it feels like a freaking Jess Franco movie. Folks, if you just watch it, just with the lens of this is so bad. They had nothing. They had actors and they had zero special effects. And it's definitely tongue-in-cheek. It's making fun of Hollywood. It's making fun of frickin' sequelitis. And it's just perfect in its own terrible way. They had, other than blowing up a car, which of course it's quick cut, the car disappears and there's a big explosion,
yeah.
And the butler getting possessed by the mirror. Lacey's very protective of this mirror piece. Why? She keeps it with her. I guess she's trying to protect other people because she can't destroy it.
Yeah. She's got it surrounded, I suppose, by all those magical talismans or what have you. So maybe she thinks that, if we keep all that stuff together, it will, cancel itself out or something. I don't know. I can't even, dude. It's so funny. Then the butler's just so intrigued he has to go touch it. So he's running around using his psychic powers. He's possessed by our friend with the pantyhose. That was the moment where I was like, yeah, I fucking love this. And it was also around the time when the tape, the Betamax that somebody put on YouTube, started to break down. And before we got to, and this is when I knew you would love it as well. And I love this sort of thing as well. How much stuff is set around that pool at night. Which, again, that was where I heard the 4 out of 5 Doctors music. Which is like, oh yeah, this is from House of Sorority Row, which is doubly weird because how much of that takes place around a fucking pool at night. It's like, what? Folks, I don't know what it is about me and swimming pools in horror movies. I just love swimming pools. It's just something super soothing about it. I love it, especially the way the light plays off. Oh, the dappled lighting and all of that. Yeah. This movie's, oh man, there's something about it. It ain't good, but it's something.
Lost my train of thought.
When you're talking about the tracking, the tape being just trashed, there's parts of this that look so bad. Like, anytime they cut to the flashbacks, it is you can't see what in the world even they're trying to flash back to.
Good thing we already saw it. Hey.
God, yeah, boy howdy. But yeah, this is, for my expectations, were not even in the garbage. They weren't that high budget. You know, they were in the slurry pit, if you will, for you British listeners out there.
Oh,
and I just could not believe how entertained by this I was. How it is such my vibe now.
I hear that.
Thanks to Jeffrey. It just seems like, and I said this, I don't know if I said this to you. This feels like a little film we covered on the show called The Urge to Kill.
Oh, rings a bell. I don't think I've seen it.
Just like The Urge to Kill without the computer. It is just the same movie. Sleazy Hollywood types getting killed. In Urge to Kill, it's sleazy music people getting killed. But yeah, this is fantastic. I don't recommend it.
Well,
if you don't have that taste, if you don't like quiet, weird. I'm gonna just here's some dialogue from the movie. This is a typical scene from Boogeyman 2. This is what we're dealing with right here.
May I serve dessert? Would anyone care for dessert?
Lacey?
I have prepared loquats and kiwi fruit with a dash of Cointreau.
Sure. No, not for me, thanks.
So yeah, if that isn't your style, if you don't revel in stupid, boring shit, then... But it's so baffling that it's not boring to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you're saying on this, again, from the weird-ass vibe. And, especially the nighttime and the pool stuff really helps. And just, again, from that, just context here, I don't know what dialogue you just played. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if that bit where all the people, and I'm glad you screenshotted this on Twitter, where they're all being introduced, and it's almost like a film I've only seen once, but me and you keep talking about, and I need to revisit. When all the people are being introduced in Cecil B. Demented, they have all the director tattoos and stuff, and they're all just, like, super weird. It's almost like that, of just like everyone is just like off the tits, and that's even before I think where I think at first they're all just like really eerily underlit by the pool, but later they chuck the kind of kaleidoscope refraction sort of effects on it.
That's the Jess Franco bit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. The way the weapons are wielded, a fucking electric toothbrush, can of what do you call it? A can of like shaving cream, edge trimmer, a garden hose.
The exhaust was the one that got me. It was kind of like the shish kebab again, but even more ridiculously like phallic.
And very phallic, very perverse. Yeah, just folks, track this one down. It's so dumb. It's so fantastic.
Totally.
Let's talk about something that less fantastic. Let's talk about Return of the Boogeyman, 1994. If you thought Boogeyman 2 relied too much on footage from the previous film, you are wrong. This movie is almost the entire first film with some bumper scenes that are so unbelievably abstract in a even worse way. Even when they do have live sound, it is terrible. You cannot hear what people saying. In this movie, a character named Annie, played by Kelly Galindo, is tormented by the memories of the first film, and she's being chased around in her dreams by the man with the pantyhose over his head. This was directed by someone named Deland News.
Yeah.
I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Sorry, this is a thing that straight away I kind of knew was in for. It's like when even the names in the credits are weird. It's like, oh my God. Like we have one I wrote down here was we have a Richard Quick, which that made me laugh just because, well, Dick Quick.
Oh, I hear a Dick Quick barking.
Oh shit, yeah. How could we not? I'm just like used to. I almost blocked it out for a minute. And in the end credits, we have the costumes are by somebody called Alida Valley, but spell like Valley Girl.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
So not that one. Deland News, the only other horror film I think that he did was something called The Chilling, which he co-directed. It's Linda Blair. Oh God, Dan Haggerty's in it. Oh boy. Troy Donahue. Okay, fuck. I need to see The Chilling. I want to chill. I'm going to chillax and watch The Chilling. That sounds great.
Yeah, man.
There's a guy in this movie who I kept thinking, the actor, I wanted it to be frickin' Uli Lamel all grown up, but it is not. She's being treated for her crazy dreams by Dr. Ricky Love, played by Omar Kadzmierik. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. He is treating her, and he just reminds me of Uli Lamel, tired, bored. What am I doing here? But nope, it wasn't him. Unfortunately, they kept crediting Susanna Love and Nicholas Love in the credits, so I kept waiting. I kept waiting for Susanna to show up in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot. I hope you didn't do that too.
I really can't remember now, but I hope they got some fucking royalty checks at any rate, you know.
Here's a hint. Speaking of Twin Peaks, who does Kelly Galindo in this movie remind you of? Because I kept getting a fucking Twin Peaks vibe from this bullshit especially when she was running on the beach.
Sorry, it just like it's a few days since I watched this, and I think, watching Boogeyman 2 since and so many other things have just broken my brain.
She just reminded me of Sherilyn Fenn.
Yes, looking at her on here, yeah.
Dude, I just kept getting a Sherilyn Fenn vibe.
Totally, yeah.
She could have played like a doppelganger, one of David Lynch's notorious doppelganger characters at some point in Twin Peaks. But I like Kelly Galindo. I feel she's still acting to this day. Lots of TV stuff, but man, she did not get a fair shake with this one. Full disclosure here, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and confess, I started skipping around. I started fast forwarding.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Party sequence is the best part of the movie. Outrageous. There's a cowboy. There's people. Everyone's muffled. Everyone's just blah, blah, blah. But it is such a garbage cash in. Oh my God.
This young lady, Annie, is very psychic.
Psychic? Oh, really? Are you here to tell me the future?
In a certain sense, yes, we are.
In that case, go ahead. I'm always interested to hear. So this murder is supposed to take place in my house?
Yes. 1754 Willard Drive, right, Annie?
Yes, 1754.
In my bathroom?
That's right. At midnight.
How exciting.
Would you mind if we took a look at your bathroom, Mr. Bushel?
Not at all. Okay, you guys. That's it.
But dude, yeah, this movie, I hate to harsh on something, but this has earned its 1.4 on IMDb. I am not I know I sound like I'm obsessed with fucking IMDb ratings. I'm not at all.
No.
But this is one of the worst things I've tried to sit through.
Oh, I understand. I mean, I think because, at least with Boogeyman 2, it's like you say, it's mostly front-loaded with the reused stuff, and there's not, I think the original stuff in the movie outweighs it because it's that special. I just think it's fucking magic, even though I said to you before, going from what some of our friends on Facebook said, God bless them, I felt like, as I said to you, am I brain damaged in loving this movie?
Yes. Shout out to a couple of our buds in the multiverse group for just telling us we're insane.
And I think they'll be glad to see we have indeed covered the original as well. But with this third one, there's so much of it. It was like I've got very few notes, so I may as well read them. There's so much of it. Part of me thought this is like the weirdest audio commentary ever. And yes. In other ways, so like you say, the really bad sound and just the mind-boggling, just what the fuck is going on ness of it. It made me think this is kind of like the boarding house of like horror sequels or something. I couldn't, and that.
Wow.
People take that for what it's worth. But no, I hear you, and I, being a complete masochist, didn't actually skip any of it, just because I was that into the kind of weird vibe of the
done
kind of narration and the music over everything. And thankfully, it's also, that said, it is quite, it's 75 minutes, quite short. But there were a few things which did kind of blow my mind. Not least of all, there was a line near the end about stockings, which was just fucking incredible. It was, I can't remember whether I don't know whether you caught this or not.
Probably not.
Yeah, basically it's like, and kind of spoiler alert, I guess, but because of the guy who she keeps seeing with the stocking over his head, the kind of arc she goes on at the end was, and now it's all over, at least I can put my stockings on without like freaking out or whatever.
I saw that. That is a spoiler, man. No one's gonna watch it now.
Yeah. Whoops, my bad.
I finally won the battle over evil. The man with no face is gone, and Natalie is alive. I'm finally free. Dr. Love and Natalie set me free. Now I must try on my stockings to prove to myself one last time that I am free.
But here's the thing, folks. The Boogeyman series did not end there.
Oh shit, I nearly forgot.
There is a film that was completed, not released yet, called Boogeyman: Reincarnation. Uli Lamel passed away in 2016? I want to say?
Around then.
2017. So late 2017. So he almost made it to 2018. But he made a film called Boogeyman: Reincarnation with someone named Skylar Radzian and himself. He plays someone named McDuff. So Uli Lamel back on the big screen. I don't recognize any of this cast. I've not seen this. But man, I think there's a trailer for it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look half bad. It definitely looks like a direct to streaming or direct to video 21st century movie. Whatever that means. Who knows? I'd watch it. I just don't even know. It's
it looks weird as fuck,
Released posthumously. Well, folks, hopefully released posthumously.
Yeah.
But Skylar, she's a very interesting look. She's just got a strange look about her. But she's one of those up-and-coming actresses. She's been in stuff since 2015, making all kinds of things. Lots of short films, so we'll see. Maybe she'll be the next Scream Queen. I would watch this before I'd watch that new Don't Go in the Basement movie.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't look too hot. But fuck it, I'd watch both.
Why not?
Oh, so Simon, we went on a journey.
Oh boy, now.
Big shout out to our buddy Mark.
Yes,
for
again, thank you, Mark. You're donating
very, very to the show. Yeah, dude, you gave and then you gave more, and we were like, what? So happy to finally get to one of your requests.
Well, yeah, like I said to you, I was, itching to cover this anyway, and even more so after that.
Yep. I believe this is already on our list. The sequels weren't, but here we are.
No, I'm glad I finally watched them. I remember years ago in one of those Video Nasty sets seeing a trailer and a brief discussion of Revenge of the Boogeyman. I thought it looked, I know what you're saying about expectations. I was expecting something, the reused footage aside, expecting something interesting. And I think I certainly got that, but I was not expecting to get something that I cannot fucking wait to watch already. And that night I was scanning like Amazon and eBay and stuff trying to find a DVD, like a DVD or a better copy of it.
Yeah. It's out there. Well, folks, thanks for listening. And oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Bye.
Good night.
And we're done.
Hello, This is the Doom Show is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Please check out the other podcasts on legionpodcasts.com. If you'd like more Hello, This is the Doom Show, go to hellodoomshow.podomatic.com or go to doomedmoviethon.com for the archives. If that's still not enough, go to @doomedmoviethon on Twitter. You can write in to Hello, This is the Doom Show. Use the email doomedmoviethon@gmail.com. Doom Show episodes are available on record and 8-track cassette.
If you enjoyed this show, then make sure you check out the other great shows on the Legion Podcast Network, like Cinema Psyops, Cinema Beef, Devour the Podcast, Duncan and Bo Come Correct, Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast, Friday the 13th, Get Slayed, The Hellming Power Hour, Hello, This is the Doom Show, Hero Hero Go Show, Kill the Cast, Underwater Kaiju from Outer Space, Jerry Hates Action, Legion After Dark, Mental Health, Obsessive Cinema, Discourse, Pick 6 Movies, the podcast by The Cemetery, the podcast on Haunted Hill, the Psychosemantic Podcast, Rick Radio, House of Wax, Dude Looks Like the 80s, Rabbit and Red Radio, the Shadecast, Short Bus Cinema, 2 Drink Minimum Commentaries, the VD Clinic, Who Will Survive Horror Podcast, and Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock. With such a wide spread of shows, there is guaranteed to be a niche for you to fall in love with. Horror, politics, movies, books, sex, music, commentaries, health, video games, kaiju, action, news, comedy, and opinions that would most likely get you killed in some parts of the world. We are proud to bring you some of the best podcasting in the world. Check us out at www.legionpodcast.com, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and any other dark corner of the internet where podcasts can be found.